Back to Market on Close. It's time for Options Corner. We'll welcome in Rick Ducat, our lead market technician. Today we're looking at Johnson & Johnson after they had a big rally following their earnings. As I take a look at their chart right now, Rick, they're up 6% so far on the day. Give us some of the takeaways here.
Yeah, and it's been kind of a rough time for this healthcare sector in general. Lots of tariff-related news, lots of proposals to change things from vaccines to other things, and also the Republican budget bill includes what's projected to be pretty big cuts to Medicaid as well. So if we were to look at our first chart, looking at the sector here, Johnson & Johnson is the big mover today, and this pharmaceutical sector specifically came back into focus today. President Trump late last night said he plans to announce tariffs on the pharma sector on imported drugs by the end of the month here, but really not much of a reaction. Actually, the sector's doing all right today, probably a sympathy move with Johnson & Johnson. Nonetheless, if you look here, XLV down 10% on the year. The blue line there, IHB, the pharma sector, up down minus 1.8%. XLV down 10%. Excuse me, I said that wrong. But Johnson & Johnson up 9%, the best one of the lot, the best in the sector, still underperforming the S&P here. So kind of a troubled time for the healthcare stocks. If we were to look at our next chart here, we can see that for the XLV ETF, kind of a triangular price activity that we've seen recently here. A lot of the trading lately centered around that volume profile point of control, our thick red line at about 135 here. So the bulls would need a push above that level, above our two moving averages that are right around that same area to try to retest our red line there, 144, some notable lows. If we keep moving lower, 130, that's kind of the danger point to watch to the downside.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly some of that likely a response to President Trump saying that there may be tariffs on any sort of pharmaceutical imports. But as we look at Johnson & Johnson, how does their chart compare?
Yeah, and the funny thing about that whole thing is that the Johnson & Johnson CEO today kind of specifically said that, not only is the administration the changes to the tax code, praising those things like, also saying that specifically lower tariff rates than they expected on their medical technology has resulted in, about a $200 million reduction in what they were expecting to pay here. So kind of a strange mix of news here for this particular stock here. Nevertheless, if we look at the chart, a big surge to the upside today, broke above that ceiling, our green line near 158. We filled that gap at that red line there that we saw coming from back in early April, a gap down there. That came in right around 164. For now, the bulls are holding the line above that level, but we topped out at a level that was important, that orange line, our +2 standard deviation channel there. So potential resistance around 165, 166. Notice as well, RSI, once again, overbought, typically a sign of strength. If we were to also look at the options market today, then we can see that options volume, 144,000 contracts traded, heavy skew toward the call side, 71% calls. Most of the volume, 155 to 180, kind of across the board, 150 to 170 on the put side, 155 to 180. Open interest, though. 239,000 contracts for this July expiration here. That's the total. The July expiration is 104,000, so almost a full quarter of the total open interest here. If we were to look at our next chart, we can see our shaded area, the July 18th expected move, gives us a pretty narrow window. We've only got a couple days left here, about 162 to 167. The calls mostly come in 150 to 185 with the highest activity at that dark green line near 160. If we were to look at the put side here, it's more like 130 to 160, a bit more dispersed here in terms of the concentration, but the highest at 150. So 160 and 150 are two standout strikes for this expiration on both sides.
Yeah, right now we're trading at 164.62. As far as any big trades that you saw today, were there any of note?
One that stood out to me, the July 25th, next week's expirations, about 1,400 or so, 162 strike calls. They paid about $250,000 debit here for what looked to be an opening bullish trade. At the time I checked, it was already above the break even too. So if things continue, if we do progress further, that could be a nice trade for whoever did that one.
Well, Rick, we appreciate it. Thanks so much. That's Rick Ducat, our lead market technician here on the Schwab Network.